Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us is Kinahan, Chief Market Strategist at TD Ameritrade for his 2022 outlook on the retail trader. It's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me, Jill. I always appreciate being on here.
All right, you got it. And at 2021, really one of the big stories was the participation that retail had in the market and the impact that it had to the market. Give us your thoughts on that.
Well, it really was, as you said, absolutely amazing. We saw it start out very early in the year with the meme stocks and, retail participation to levels we really had never seen before. And it just continued on throughout the year, Jill. It really did. We didn't continue at that crazy pace overall, but the retail investor took an interest in their investments in a way that I haven't seen in my career. I think it's a real positive. Unfortunately, many people have criticized some of this, but of course we want people to be more educated. Overall, I think it's great for the country. It's great for people that they want to understand what's going on in their investments overall. And I think that that's been the natural progression. Whatever reason people may have come in, maybe they started trading, more as a day trader, et cetera. What I'm seeing from our clients is people who have an interest now in their 401ks, an interest in their individual investments, and that's a real positive.
I also think another big positive is how the industry has embraced it and really has built up the educational tools. I mean, TD Ameritrade has built your entire platform around that. Even speaking from the exchange perspective, the amount of tools and education that's out there is really quite remarkable. And I think the industry should be really proud of that.
Absolutely, Jill. There's a few things over the last couple of years that have been sort of the untold stories. Number one, the fact that everyone made this incredible transition to working from home, which is now taken for granted with the types of volumes we were doing. Then the volumes skyrocketed last year. Everyone was able to continue. The exchanges, the participants were able to serve their clients every single day with volumes unlike anything we had ever seen before. Let's be honest, Jill. Then the natural progression from that is, to your point, exchanges as well as the brokerage firms are not only developing education, but exchanges have also started to develop products that are more retail friendly and easier to understand and smaller size to also embrace the retail trader.
Does the retail trader really do have an impact on the stock market? Is it really enough to move the needle, or is it still, the big whales versus the little guy?
Well, I think they have an influence in the market. I don't know that they're moving individual stocks to the level that's being accredited to them. That doesn't happen without some large money coming in with bigger orders overall. But I do think that the retail investor has had an influence in a way that we've never seen before. It's not only the analysts now who are saying, hey, this stock undervalued, overvalued, or a good buy longer term, and here's why I think it is. There are very intelligent people who are offering up their opinions. Again, you have to sort through that just like anything else. But I do think that many people feel more in control of their investments and are doing their own research to understand why they should have an opinion on a stock one way or the other. We used to see that joke, so to speak, of the libraries 20 years ago of guys sitting there with charts. Now everything's instantaneous, as is all the information that's outside the platforms in terms of what people think about different stocks.
And going into 2022, as we hopefully get to the other side of this pandemic, do you expect the level of participation to continue on this pace?
Yeah, I do think we're going to see a great level of participation out of retail going forward for some of the reasons I covered earlier, and the fact that people are curious now in a way they never were before. They've seen the power of the market and seen how it can influence their lives in a positive way. So one of the things we've been seeing, we just got done talking about education, Jill, is continued participation in education. And we have a lot of videos. Two of the top videos continue to have been over this entire time basic fundamentals of stock investing and getting started with options. So people want to understand the basics and continue to go further. And we're just continuing all the way through our education from the most basic to the most advanced. We are seeing greater participation. And to me, that's the best sign for the market long term.
Right. And I also think that we're starting to see product that is being launched specifically for the Gen Z investor, whether it's a specific trading platform, an education platform, products, ETFs, which is really, to me, very interesting. It shows that, and they are going to have the largest amount of wealth. They are going to be the largest population in the workforce. And it's starting so much earlier now, which is really quite encouraging.
It is quite encouraging, Jill. And the other thing is you have a level of understanding of some of the products, some of the companies that some of the Gen Z folks will have that their parents may not have, just because of the nature of being younger, willing to experiment with new products. And as you experiment with new products, all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Let me look more into this company. This company actually is doing something I like. And so I think that where that's really changed the landscape, Joe, has been in some names that all of a sudden you're seeing trading, and many are going, hold on, what is that company? Well, a lot of the Gen Z folks were already invested in it from the beginning because they realize that this is a new company or has new technology or something that they're using at work, et cetera, that may not be using by older investors who suddenly get on board, and you see the company get some momentum behind it because of it.
All right, JJ, we appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.